Hi everybody, this is Anne. Each time I design a new pottery project with templates, I try and provide the templates the best way I can for you, but as I'm not computer savvy, they've never been the most accurate or professional looking. Recently I was introduced to Helen Maynard of Little Chip Tools, who specializes in creating not only a PDF of pottery templates, but she prints them out as cookie cutters. She offered to show me how this worked by turning my butterfly basket and my butter dish designs into 3D templates. In this video, I'm going to test them out. Helen sent me her products in the mail. They arrived in the cutest pizza boxes with pictures of the finished pieces on top. Inside the box were the 3D templates, plus the paper templates and the links to the video instructions. Both projects came separately in their own box. Helen is offering these kits for sale on her Little Chip site. The link is in the description section below. She also made a PDF form of the project for me, which are available on my Etsy site. She included the QR code to the video tutorial on the front. On the inside, she included detailed instructions to printing out the templates to make it easy for a non-computer person like me. I'm very impressed with the professional template pieces. She gives the measurements along with basic tips for success. The link to purchase these is in the description section below the video. Now here are the cookie cutter templates for the butterfly basket. She designed each piece to the exact specifications. The bottom has a crisp edge that cuts well through the clay, and the top has a gripper edge so you can pull the cutter back out. The bigger cutters have handlebars attached through their center for easier removal. Let's see how they work. To make the butterfly basket, I wired off a slab of clay. I rolled it to a 1/4-inch slab. I ribbed away the canvas texture with my rubber rib. I needed to cut out all the template pieces. Usually this step takes a very steady hand, a sharp tool, and a lot of time to get them as perfect as possible. But with these 3D cutters, it just took seconds. The excess clay came away easily, and the edges were clean and accurate. I can see how these would really save time if I were going to make several of these pieces at once for shows or festivals. For this particular design, I needed 2 kidney-shaped pieces, 2 side pieces, and a base. It's best to let the 2 side pieces stiffen up for about an hour or so they'll hold their shape through the attachment process. I have these 2 pieces that I cut earlier so I can demonstrate the project for you. I scored all the edges of the entire base piece, plus the bottom edge of the side pieces and the kidney-shaped pieces. I slipped the first side piece and attached it in the slot on the base. I rolled a small coil and worked it in to seal that seam. I repeated this step on the other side with the second side piece. I slipped, centered, and rounded the first kidney-shaped piece along the back side. The rounded edge should match up with the top edge of the side piece. When I got it lined up, I used my needle tool to mark where the flaps overlap, on each side and on the inside. I scored inside those marks on both the side pieces and the kidney piece. I slipped the edges and attached them firmly. I first sealed all the edges with a paintbrush. I then rolled coils and attached them along the inner seams, both the vertical sides and the back rounded edge. I repeated this step with the other kidney-shaped piece. Don't forget to turn the piece over and seal the bottom edges too. Now here's the finished piece. I drew the illustrations by hand, then underglazed them. I bisque fired it to cone 04. I glazed around all the imagery with the white liner glaze and used the Amico Sky glaze for the borders. Now let's try the butter dish. In this box, again she included the PDFs and a link to the video tutorial where I demonstrated the squared-off butter dish. The templates for the squared butter dish project are the white cutters. This kit also includes in yellow alternate template pieces so you can assemble a rounded butter dish lid. Since I already did a video constructing the squared butter dish, I thought I'd show you how to make the rounded lid dish. I started by cutting out the large yellow rectangular piece. Again, that cutter made an easy chore of it. I also needed 2 of the yellow rounded side pieces. FYI, I found the best way to release the 3D cutter after making the cut is to rock it up on its back edge and lift it out. Now here's all the pieces you'll need to do this project. I prepared the big rectangle first by beveling all 4 sides on the fresh clay, then rounding it gently over top of a tube. This will become the lid. I let all the pieces dry out a little and stiffen up to a soft leather hard. The first thing I did was to bevel all the sides of the curved side pieces and the 2 rectangular pieces and score the edges. I'll use these trimmings later to seal my seams. I scored and slipped the long edge of one of the rectangular pieces and attached the 2 firmly, adding one of the trimmings into the seam to seal it. I slipped the side edge and attached that into place along with more of those trimmings to seal the edges. I repeated this step along the other rounded side piece. I scored around all the edges of the curled lid. I slipped all the edges of the box and attached the top, making sure it fit well along each edge, then sealing all the seams together. Now I'll be cutting this box apart, so I placed the supplied cutting guide to the front of the box and traced along that line. I placed the rectangular cutting guide along the side and traced that. I used a ruler along the back side to connect the 2 side edge lines. I used my sharp X-Acto knife to cut along those lines. It sliced very easily, I just went slowly. Now I can take off the lid. You can see that there's some seams that I still need to seal. Again, I used more trimmings in those areas. I also like to reinforce that long back straight edge with an extended edge coil so it'll fit flush with the back edge of the butter dish. I put the lid back on the box to make sure it still fit well. It looks good. Finally, I just needed to score, slip, and attach the side pieces in place to give the box top its boundaries of where it'll sit. The lid fits great. Now here it is with a knob on top. I painted butterflies on the front with underglazes. I glazed it with my white liner glaze and Amico Sky Celadon glaze, then fired it to cone 5 with a 6-minute hold. You can see that it holds an 8 tablespoon stick of butter very easily. I also tested out the squared butter dish cutters. They work just as well as the rounded top version. If you want to see how I constructed that, check out the link above to the free video tutorial. I really enjoyed using the 3D versions of the templates. It saved me so much time and it was way more accurate than cutting out each piece individually. Thanks to the newest members of our Little Street Pottery Research Facility team. If you'd like to join the team and earn a title, click on the Super Thanks button or the link to buy me a coffee. It also really helps us out if you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. See you next time in the studio.